Hello everyone. Today we'll know something about the ethology. Ethology is the scientific, specific and biological study of the animal behavior. The animal behavior is very important to conserve the species, and as well as it is very important to understand between the interaction of the human and the animals. The animal behavior is to know the many patterns of the behavior that may be in foraging forms, in mating, in protection, or in alarming. Okay, so in various ways, the animal behavior helps in conserving the species. Okay, and as well as making more interactive or more communicative between the human and the animals, and the nature and the animals. Hello, myself, Dr. Milind F. Naganawar, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, JSS Degree College, Gokak. Here, that's what the ethology, which is a scientific, biological and specific study of the animal behavior. Now, the animal behavior refers all the externally recognizable changes that brings about the communication, and this communication may be in the different behavior patterns, that it may be the movement of the entire body to communicate something, or a particular part of the body to communicate to the one species or the individual of the same species. That may be with the some facial expressions or the different postures of the body, as well as by communicating with their voice, that's vocalization, change in the color, and as well as the release some of the odor, which includes in the behavior. So here we will be discussing today is about the animal communication. Now, what is this animal communication? The signals or the display emitted by an organism to another organism or group of organisms to communicate some message. Is it clear? So that's what the communication is, what the signal or the display, okay, emitted by an organism to the another organism, in which the organisms may belonging to the same species or the individuals belonging to the different species. Okay, so that's what the passage or the pass of information from one individual to another individual in different forms. Is it clear? So that is called as the communication. Now, between the two individuals, now this animal which sends the information or the message is called as a signaler, and the animal that receives signal is called as a receiver. Now, this all the communication is called as the biological communication, and the study of this is called as the zoosemiotics. Now, this was much developed by the Nico Tinbergen. Is it clear? And there are two types of communications usually. The communication, that is the individuals communicating with one another, the individuals communicating with one another within the species, or the individuals communicating between the two species. Is it clear? So based on that, there are two types of communications, that is called as the intraspecific communication and the interspecific communication. Now, what is this intraspecific communication? That is whenever the individuals are communicating within the species, that is the one member of a species is communicating with the another member belonging to the same species, we call it as the intraspecific. We call it as what? Intraspecific. That is what it may be a honeybee dance. Is it clear? That's what the honeybee dance, or that may be the different members of the elephants communicating, or the different members of the dogs of the same individual species. Here, that's the honeybee dance. They communicate to their members based on their dances, that may be for the foraging purpose, for the alarming purpose, okay, that's the predation. So for all these purposes, the individuals of the same species are communicating to one another. That's called as the intraspecific. Now, the another one is the interspecific communication. Now, interspecific communication is the communication between the individuals belonging to the different species. That is, one individual of one species is communicating one or the other message to the another member of the different species. That may be a prey to predator. Okay, prey to predator. That's the prey is communicating its predator that I'm not easy to catch up, or I'm not so delicious, or I'm not so pleasant to eat. Is it clear? So that's what the prey is communicating the predator. In many of these, the wasps, they get change in their color. Okay, they change in the colors. So that's what the predator to prey. Okay, predator to prey. Some predators communicate to prey, make them easier to catch, in effect, deceiving them. We know that there is one deep sea fish called as the anglerfish. Okay, anglerfish, this is the fish. It has some antenna like on its head region, and that lures the prey. Okay, that lures the prey. The prey easily gets attracted as if it is a small fish or something eatable. So the prey gets attracted to that, and in that case the anglerfish takes up that prey. Okay, so that's what this. There is another communication. It's also an intraspecific communication, usually the human and the animal communication. Most of the humans communicate to the animals during domestication. Okay, during domestication, that is what they usually we the very most common that the pets, okay, human and the pets, they get trained, they get acquainted with their communication. Most of the animals gets trained with the human behavior. Is it clear? That's what the making them domesticated, making them tamed, is it clear, easily gets communicated. And that's what during domestication most of the humans and the animals gets information or the transformation of the message between the two. What are the basic components of the communications? There are two basic components of the communication. That's one is called as the signal, and the another one is called as the receiver. Okay, signaler and receiver. There are two individuals. For any communication, there is a need of the two individuals. The two individuals are the one is a signaler and the another one is a receiver. And what is the signal? The signal is the behavior emitted by a signaler. Okay, the behavior emitted by a signaler. So now the individual which is emitting a signal, the individual which is emitting the signal is called as a signal. Now signaler. An individual who is receiving this signal is called as a receiver. Okay, so that's what that signal may be in any forms, okay, or for any purpose. That may be for the foraging, for the food gathering purpose, or maybe alarming from the predators, okay, or for the any other behavior. So the mating behavior, is it clear? So that's all. There are different signals for all this behavior. Now this is what there is a signaler who is transforming this information, and receiver is taking that signal, retrieving that signal, recovering that message, whatever it is sent, decoding it, and then just changing its behavior. The signaler always changes the behavior of the receiver. Okay, so that's what the basic components, signaler and receivers. There are different channels or the pathways to communicate, okay, to communicate between the two individuals of the same species or the different species. So that's called as the channels. These are called as the channels. The channels are maybe a chemical channel, okay, visual, that is auditory, tactile, electrical, surface vibration. Okay, so there are different ways of communication. Some of the animals communicate to one another by releasing certain chemicals, usually called as the pheromones. Visually, is it clear? The animals communicate to one another by the body postures, facial expressions. Is it clear? That's called as the visual. Auditory, they produce a particular sounds, they sing, or that's called as the visual. Tactiles will be there, and electrical stimuli will be produced so that the another individual will understand that message and decode. There will be surface vibrations. Now, these all are the different channels of the communication. So in the next